Hi guys, this is Juana, Latina Loves Lace, and thank you for stopping by. Today I would like to share with you another finished project for NerisLaces. And she is this beautiful journal I made. She's round. She stands about approximately 3.5 inches tall, and she's 8 inches wide. So I've bound her with 2 large binder rings, and this is what she looks like with the dangles from the front. She's held together with a length of what's it called? Sari silk ribbon. And she has a couple of jewelry pieces on her. And so the top, I made this flower with this chiffon rose in the middle. I have several layers of lace that I gathered to form this flower, and in between that lace I have these lace pieces. It was a trim, and I cut out the little pieces to add to the flower. Let's see. Oh yes, here it is. I have the same thing outlining the back page of the flower. And since we're here, this is the back page, and I've added this embroidered organza flower with rhinestones and pearl beads in the middle. There's my little name tag thingy. And so we'll go inside and see what she's all about. So untie her bow here. And this is the first page. And this NerisLaces again. And I threaded a piece of jacquard ribbon in the holes. Here is a fringe flower that I used to hide the end of the sari ribbon here, and I have outlined the top of the page with that same ribbon that I cut up, not ribbon, but trim, embroidered trim that I cut up and added to the flower on the front. And this is a tag. The theme of this journal is pretty little girls. And so, but you can name her whatever you like when you get her, if you're into naming your journals and stuff. And this little girl here, and here is a sequin and pearl bead applique. And I added this banner looking trim on 2 sides. And the back is plain, that way you can journal on it if you so wish. Let me put her back in there. This other page. Oh yes, and I used an embroidered doily for the pages with the little girls, and I went ahead and beaded the flowers and stuff on it, and then I added this trim, which is a plastic and rhinestone trim from NerisLaces, and it comes in one long piece, and all I did was cut out the little flowers and use them for the center of these flowers on this page. Here I have this beaded trim going all the way around, and I have a rhinestone trim that I put around that beaded trim to make a frame for the little girl. On the edge, I have this little lace here, and this is a part of an applique that's on the back, and I just added these pieces to it for it to look pretty. Excuse me. And then we go on to the other page. So I've got 2 pages here. Okay, this is the other page, and here is the applique. I was saying you could see the back. Okay, this one I added another trim to the edge here. It's a tiny trim, and then I added these daisy flower trim, also from Neris, and I added a flat back pearl bead to each of the little flowers here. And as you can see, I used the applique as the pocket. I just cut the top of it off, and that's on embossed paper with a flower detail there. And then here's a tag I made of another pretty little girl. I printed it on shimmer cardstock, and you can see it's got like a little gold tint to it. And then on the top, I added this piece of another applique from Neri. I just used the little flowers there. And that's that one. And the back is plain for journaling. The next page is a simple one. It's outlined again in another little tiny trim. This one, it had an edge on it, a straight edge, and I just cut it off so that I could use the little flower part. And this is a applique here. It's a 3D applique. It has 3 layers and some leaves with sequins on it. And on the other side, it's just a little applique piece there with room to journal. This next page, I used one of Neris lace collars that's beaded. Has that little trim hanging down there. And I used it as a pocket and inserted another tag of this sweet little girl with pink flowers in her hair. And on the back is plain. On this page, I used another trim that I cut 2 pieces off. It's actually like a tulip flower. And so I added that, and on top of that, I made a bow out of horsehair, and then added this flower here with the little acrylic center and rhinestone. And here is another page, just like the one before, with the beaded frame outlined with rhinestone. And again, I beaded all the little flowers and added that plastic and rhinestone trim to the center of the flowers. The edge, of course, it's edged in lace. This is a little eyelash looking lace that I had. And we go to the next page, and this page is also covered in an embossed flower paper. And to the edge, I added a flat back trim, also from Neri. And then I made this pocket And I love how it looks like the girl is peeking out of there. I added this trim, which is leaves with embroidered flower and organza flowers. And on this page, there's this dangle trim from my stash with the different leaves and flowers and stuff like that. And then this is the card, the tag that's in there. And this is the trim that I use on the other pages. I said I cut them out individually. Well, this is that trim, and this is how it looks. And I used it to frame her out, and I added a little organza bow, ribbon bow to her hair. And she is also blank on the back. I went ahead and I inked the edges of all of the cards and tags that are in here. And so we just slip her back in there. And there she is, peeking out again. On this side, I used another beaded applique. It's a collar, actually. And so I used it as a, sorry about that, as a pocket. So you can, a little tuck spot. She looks cute there too. And then on the other page, this is another Neri's lace, and I just cut it to use it as a tuck spot, and it holds this little girl. And this is from another applique. I just cut the piece off that I wanted and made this tag. So we shall stick her back in there. On the other side, it's the same thing. I used another piece of that lace. And here is this card. A piece of applique, another flower applique with a bead center. And then I added organza ribbon bow to the end of her braid. And she is blank on the back. This is another writing page. I just used one of those fringe flowers, and to it I added some of this toothbrush trim or flag trim. And then on this side, there's that beautiful little girl again, and all the beading. And to this page, I added some of that toothbrush trim. On the next page, this whole page, I did the embossed paper again. And I used another beaded collar from Neri. And for the top of the collar, I went ahead and edged it in a white daisy trim. And then to that, I added some of the little plastic rhinestone trim to those. And in this pocket is this cute little girl with flowers in her hair. I added a piece of pink embroidered trim on the bottom, another little piece on the top with a little ribbon flower. And I just love the way the pink shows up in here. This page I used the banner trim, and then I outlined that with the flat back pearl trim. On the other side is this beautiful trim, and I used it to make a pocket. Added a couple of those flowers. I added a tiny ribbon flower to the center of the applique, and then this pocket holds this little girl. Up here, I just added a little piece of embroidered applique, and then one of the little flowers. The other page is plain. And on the back side of that page, I used that trim that I used before as a tuck spot. I doubled it up and used it to create a pocket, and this pocket is angled. Here's that trim that I used on one of the previous pages. And I'll take this out so I can show you that it is a tuck spot that way. And here is the opposing page. Again, with the same treatment as the other pages. Into this one, I added this fringe trim here. On the other side of this little beauty is this page, which I used embossed paper and trimmed it out with a tiny elastic trim I had. And I outlined the whole page with the flat back bead trim, and I also outlined the belly band with the flat back bead trim. And this belly band that I made, this particular piece, I cut it off of another trim that Neri had sent me. And oh, I guess I should show you this one. I just love this flower, and so I added made a little cluster here and added to the top, and just slide it in like that. On this page, I made a little petal flower here, to which I used one of the rhinestone pieces in the middle, and I added these leaves from an applique that I had. The whole page is edged with the daisy trim. On this side, the page is plain except for a little snippet cluster that I put on it. It's got this knitting here from my stash, a piece of coffee dyed paper, and then this 3D flower with the rhinestone center and these other little pieces that are attached to it. And then we come to the last page, where I used another one of Neri's collars, and this one has this beautiful dangle on the end, and she's all beaded, and she's edged in a type of eyelash trim. And here is that fringe flower. Just like the front, I used it to hide the end of the sari silk. And then in here we have this other little girl, to which I inked the edges and added a little piece of applique here, also from Neri's Laces, and the back is plain. And then we come to the back of the journal. And so I hope you enjoyed this little project share that I have for you guys. And I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, leave a comment if you wish, and share, enjoy, and we will see each other again when I come back with another project. So thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Many blessings to you. Bye.